The recent Boko Haram attacks in the far north region are condemned by the coordinator of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee, Fayengo Francis, reiterates the offer of the head of state for a peaceful surrender of arms and a return to normal life. The success rate at the 2021 BAC exams are better compared to last year, going by reports from the Baccalaureate Board. But the question in the minds of successful candidates and parents is, what next after BAC? Answers in this newscast. The countdown for the draws of the AFCON 2021 has begun. On this edition of the 7:30 News, we paint a picture of what the event will look like. Details and more in a moment. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this edition of the 7:30 News live in Yaoundé with me, Gladys Tata.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.
The coordinator of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee has condemned recent Boko Haram attacks in the far north region, which left many soldiers and civilians dead. In a declaration made to the press today in Yaoundé, Fayengo Francis reiterated the offer of President Paul Biya for a peaceful surrender of arms and reintegration to normal life. He equally announced that 727 ex-fighters have so far been registered in the DDR Transitional Center in Meri, far north region. Ebenezer Akanga has the following report.
The coordinator of the National Disarmament, Demobilization and Reintegration Committee began his declaration by regretting the recrudescence of Boko Haram attacks in the far north region. While strongly condemning the attacks, Fayengo Francis extended sincere condolences to families bereaved by the unfortunate incidents. He restated the commitment of the head of state in implementing measures to urge fighters to positively answer his offer for a peaceful surrender of arms and reintegration to normal life.
At the moment, we have the honor to inform the public that an impressive number of fighters have surrendered to local authorities and are well taken care of in our transitional center in Meri in the far north. As of today, the center has registered the return of 727 ex-fighters.
The coordinator called on those still in the bushes to massively go to DDR centers, assuring that the National Disarmament Committee has taken necessary measures to cope with the situation.
The head of state, His Excellency Paul Biya, has in line with this instructed the acceleration of the construction of a multi-purpose DDR center in Meme village in the extreme north region.
Fayengo Francis appealed to the population to accompany and support the initiatives of the head of state for the return of peace to Cameroon.
And as you all know, last week the baccalaureate results were released, and beyond choosing a university to attend, high school leavers have to face the headache of picking a course. To help them make this important decision, universities and other higher institutions have been researching job opportunities, job growth and salary prospects, and have proposed in-demand degrees. Top university majors, therefore, are health professions, engineering, business administration, communication, and agronomy. Beatrice Losamba has a panorama of the attractive offers and in-demand fields of study in the following report.
It is now clear the medical profession is not just a childhood dream that dies with time. Health science is a top university major for many who are defining career paths through the choice of a university major. It features this year at the top of the list of in-demand degrees.
I love saving lives.
Passion and interest play a key role in this choice, but some majors offer better jobs and salary prospects than others.
There's a high demand for civil engineering because recruitment is guaranteed upon graduation.
Engineering, business administration, information and technology, finance and social sciences are popular university majors as they are seen to lead to jobs in the country.
Agronomy is another high field in demand, so we offer a degree program.
In some higher institutes and universities, there is growing interest in peace and development studies as people eye job opportunities in big organizations. Degrees like communication equip with transferable skills useful for a variety of careers. It explains its place on the list of attractive offers in universities, list on which also features translation and interpretation and psychology.
Results of the 2021 BAC exams have witnessed a significant increase as compared to last year, a great performance on the part of students that are animating debates with several questions on the credibility of the exams, especially with the controversy over some scripts at the written part. Beatrice Ngom sought to know from some exam officials what elements contributed to the success rate. She put together the following report.
73.37% success rate.
Amazing results for an exam whose written part was marred by complaints from candidates.
The regulations state that in a transitory period, examinations papers that are submitted to candidates are 60% new syllabus and 40% former syllabus. So there is no surprise.
To beat the inconveniences that came in with the pandemic, new learning methods were introduced and the evaluation system modified.
Distance education allows students and teachers to have another tools to improve. Each student has or have to give what he knows. That's the advantage of competence approach.
In the context of the competence-based approach, one element has not been taken into consideration, that is the eliminatory note. It has not been applied this year, and we think that this is the element that brought this improvement in the result.
Class enrollment too was vital.
With effective in-class reduced, allow students and teachers to have better conditions to realize their lectures.
These factors, school officials say, contributed greatly to the excellent performance.
After high school, students might consider studying abroad. This option is a tougher one than opting to study in the country as a result of huge formalities to be respected, now compounded by the obstacles COVID-19 has placed on the way. Gerald Naji reports that most countries continue to open their doors to international students in spite of the spell cast by this pandemic. His report.
It is inevitable that the plans of foreign studies for many students and such rich experiences are being disrupted by the outbreak of COVID-19. While many intend to outrightly cancel their plans, others are rather seeking professional advice from travel abroad agencies on new opportunities.
We receive students here who have ambitions studying in France. We help them to process the documents. This includes visas.
Though hard hit by the pandemic, France still opens her doors to international students.
When the students arrive France, they have an observation period of 14 days. We also encourage students to take vaccines against COVID-19. We equally encourage them to wear face masks while abroad.
Alternative for foreign studies, such as online learning and postponing the options, speak of the quest of international students to pursue their dreams of studying abroad.
Let's take you to the Southwest region to talk on these newly admitted students into the National School of Local Administration, NASLA, who have been told to be assiduous, diligent and disciplined throughout their diploma course. The Director General of NASLA, Tani Teku Eno Achuo Baye, was speaking during the official opening of the first batch of in-service trainees. Larry Efande reports from CRTV Southwest in Boya.
There are over 300 of them enrolled for the in-service training. The 6-month diploma course at the National School of Local Administration, NASLA, is a novelty with designed curriculum to meet decentralization specifics nationwide. This maiden batch counts it a privilege.
At the end of this program, I am expecting to come out a professional in my specialty that I've opted to do, which is general administration as a senior executive. After 6 months, my community should expect to see great changes that I'm going to impact my community with the knowledge that I've acquired.
Drawn from local, city and regional councils across the country, the students are reading for certifications in either administration and management of social policies or economics and management of local finances.
I also ask them to be disciplined and assiduous so that they should attain their objectives, and NASLA too should attain its objectives, which is to improve on their capacity, to improve in the end on their performance and the performance of their organizations.
This first batch of NASLA in-service training helped to foster local development.
17 members of the Cameroon Youth Parliamentary Assembly for the African Union have taken the oath of office at a plenary sitting in the conference center here in Yaoundé. The 4th edition of the assembly, holding on the theme Quality Education, Peace and Security in Africa, witnessed an advocacy for unity and integration on the continent. Esther Kmer has more.
Here's a generation challenge to face global realities and to push Africa's leading economies to an enviable line. The Cameroon Youth Parliamentary Assembly for the African Union is the perfect storm to promote the ideals of the Commission for a peaceful Africa, with the youth representing a dynamic force.
It will serve as a link between the youth generation of Cameroon in particular and Africa in general. So we're able to understand perfectly what the youth's grievances are in order to transmit them.
We bring the grievances of the youth to the Parliament to propose solutions for it. Prostitution, juvenile delinquency and unemployment, that are problems that youths are facing in this society.
Through quality education, an overhaul in mentalities is guaranteed, but this entails support from governments and institutions like the African Union pledging to accompany their drive. They will be joined by 4 dynamic young girls of the Circle of Friends of Cameroon.
Cameroon joins the rest of the world to mark Breastfeeding Week, which runs from August 1 to 7 this year. This week is dedicated to advocacy for exclusive breastfeeding during the first 6 months of a baby's life. Ruth Angel went on down the streets of Yaoundé to share with city dwellers about the importance they attached to breastfeeding. This is what she brought back for the 7:30 news.
Breastfeeding is set to improve the health of babies. Health experts have advised exclusive breastfeeding for infants for the first 6 months. Many Yaoundé city dwellers agree.
I am for breastfeeding because it's the best for our children. I am for breastfeeding because it gives the child whatever the mother consumes. It will help fortify the child.
Despite being proven as the best source of nourishment for infants, the busy working schedule and many other challenges faced by women are also a problem.
If a woman's working schedule is engrossed, I think that she needs to mix natural and artificial milk. Artificial milk encourages laziness for mothers.
A woman who does not breastfeed isn't a problem. If she has health issues, we have to assist and help her. I am against breastfeeding because a woman will not accept to have intimacy with the husband. It's a problem because women don't know when to win a child.
Nevertheless, women are advised to breastfeed their infants as natural milk contains nutrients which cannot be replaced with artificial milk.
Residents of the town of Bamenda in the northwest region are raising concerns about the halt of construction work on the city's main roads, which they say is full of potholes. The longer the work lasts, the greater their ordeal, as they have had to make many sacrifices while the project lasts. Eric Langmia-Wufo has more from Crtv Northwest in Bamenda.
The streets of Bamenda are void of road construction equipment. Works have stopped months back, and excitement among city dwellers has died down.
Some of us were angry when they started it, but when we discovered that the town is open, the roads are big, We're expecting so many things that will come after the road. Please, let anything that has to be done, let them do it faster, so that at least some of us, our minds can also calm down and we try to see how we can meet up with our livelihood.
Many here are hopeful that if the roadworks are completed, Bamenda will once more regain the status of a fast-growing city in Cameroon.
We need development. There is no development without road. After the back, so whosoever have come and break this road, to come and continue this work because we don't know what's going on with them.
We are suffering here with dust and so on, all that things. If there is a good road, good impact.
When it rains here heavily, the road is muddy and badly potholed, making movement cumbersome.
The Central African Stock Exchange, BVMAC, has organized a bond loan by public offering for Gabon and Congo, which stands at 6.25% for 2021-2026. This action will reawaken the activities of the Central African Securities Exchange, BVMAC, which has been dormant for the present economic crisis fueled by the COVID-19 pandemic. The operation is the first on the financial market and was presided at by the representative of the Minister of Finance and Budget for Congo and the Minister of the Economy for Gabon, and the presence of the Director General of BVMAC, Jean-Claude Ngba. Details with Messi Ashu in Douala.
The Central African Stock Exchange, BVMAC, is gradually picking momentum with fundraising operations organized in the last couple of months to issue bonds. One of such operations to list bonds at 6.5% interest rate for Congo and 6% for Gabon between 2021 and 2026 took place at BVMAC's headquarters in Douala.
Is the beginning of a new vision of our stock exchange. As you have seen, the state of Gabon and Congo have decided to come here in stock exchange to organize the transaction concerning their bonds.
A ceremony co-presided at by the representative of the Minister of Finance and the Budget in Congo in the person of Mr. Rigobert Roger Andeli and the Minister of Economy for Gabon, Madame Nicole Roboti Epusmbu. Before now, both countries raised funds worth 302,057,750,000 francs CFA for the financing of investment and priority projects within the sub-region. Present at the public offering operation that began with the sound of the bells and the signing of the Golden Book were representatives from COSUMAF, BEACTU and other investors on the financial market.
It's been a topic on Libs for a while now. Small coins get rejected in markets and shops. A 5 or 10 francs stock less of 1 franc cannot buy anything in the market today and tends to be rejected by traders or buyers even at the time when change is hard to find. With the exception of pharmacies and some supermarkets, those coins are not in use anywhere in Cameroon. In the following report, Beatrice Losamba says these coins are no longer useful in Cameroon's market. Beatrice?
There was a time when they were worth a fortune. This is no longer the case in 2021. A 5 or 10 francs coin? No thanks. Snubbed everywhere.
We don't use such here.
At the coat store?
Such tiny coins? No.
The butchery?
No way, I don't take that.
Again rejected at the grinding mill. The taxi driver wouldn't take it without putting up a fight.
That is money. It's a lot of money with little value.
I finally get to the place where the copper coins are accepted effortlessly. What a relief. We learn apart from supermarkets, pharmacies accept the metallic money. They come in handy too for paying bills. To the market people, 5 or 10 CFA francs seem to be worth only their face values.
We no longer find anything that costs 5 or 10 francs. What we receive from pharmacies has been piled up at home, a waste.
Users say it is too small and gets lots easily.
So, of what use is the small change if it can't facilitate day-to-day transactions?
Well, you better answer the question, Beatrice. To ease traffic and ensure higher security in the town of Yaoundé, a prefectural order which dates as far back as May 2019 restricted the movement of commercial bikes in the center of the town, confining them to the peripheries. This decision went into effect but has been visibly ignored by these bike riders. Consequently, congestion, road accidents and other misgivings caused by them are the order of the day. So what would it take to get these commercial bikes off restricted areas? Constantine Bombs suggests the weight is on local councils to implement the decision. His report.
The decision to restrict commercial bike riders from urban areas was agreed upon in 2019. There has been some changes as some of the commercial bike riders stay away from such restricted zones, but some have continued to do their business in the restricted areas.
We know that they are restricted zones. We propose that we should not park at those zones, but we should be given access since people live in the quarters.
Many have been intercepted for disrespect of traffic lights, riding in the wrong lanes, riding on pedestrian paths and overspeeding. The respective councils in Yaoundé are responsible in making sure that bike riders respect the circulation zones.
When you give them one finger, they want to take all the hand. But it's very difficult with those people. If it's inside the quarter, that's no problem. But when you try to accept that, they go more than that. Is that the big problem with them? They cannot accept this.
They need to be sensitized. Some of them are understanding, but there are some of them who do not want to understand. But the municipal police is there to be sure that they don't go to those areas.
It is a very challenging problem that needs tenacious negotiators.
You cannot go to use force. You are going to tell them to responsibly themselves.
Giving them a zone to ply gives Yaoundé a facelift for the city dwellers as well as international visitors coming to the capital as the nation prepares to host key international events.
Despite our efforts, COVID-19 plunged many families into mourning and seriously hampered the functioning of our economy and society.
There is a rising fear among some Cameroonians doubting whether it's possible for an individual who has been vaccinated against COVID-19 to die of the virus. Baldwin, you are at the Public Health Operations Center with your guest, Dr. Joseph Fankam. Tell us, is it possible?
Good evening to you, Gladys Tata. Actually, it remains a major concern for many Cameroonians whether or not one can die for the coronavirus after he or she must have been vaccinated. Let's find out from our guest tonight, Dr. Joseph Fankam. He is a virologist. Good evening to you, Doctor.
Good evening, Baldwin.
Is it possible, after being vaccinated, for somebody to die of the coronavirus?
Baldwin, this is a very important question, and we need to clarify the public. For instance, we know from recent data that those who are vaccinated as compared to those who are not vaccinated, there is a high risk of being hospitalized if you are not vaccinated. As a matter of fact, recent data from other countries shows that 80% of those who are hospitalized are those who are not vaccinated, against just 15% for those who have received their vaccine. More so, those who have a younger age have less than 8% of the chances being hospitalized if they are vaccinated, as compared to 92% if they haven't received the vaccine. So the vaccine has a maximum effect in preventing hospitalization, which goes also with the risk of mortality. So answering your question, someone who is vaccinated has almost 0% risk of dying due to COVID-19. And this is also because vaccination reduces the viral load in case you even get infected. And once the viral load is extremely reduced, then there is a higher chance for you not having any symptom, and you will not need hospitalization. So we really want to encourage everybody to go out for vaccination.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joseph Okam, for that reassurance. The take-home message is our clarion call on daily basis, which happens to be encouraging Cameroonians on daily basis to have themselves vaccinated against the coronavirus. Back to you, Gladys Tatia.
Thank you, Baldwin Sama. I hope you've taken your vaccination. Ngaoundéré got its name from a navel-shaped mountain seated at the heart of the town, a mountain as old as over 500 years according to archaeological findings. The beautiful mountain is packed full with history about the original settlers of the place, the Mbum people, and therefore is an important archaeological site in the country. Let's hike up with the mountain with our reporter, Amos Enonyake.
The path leading to Mount Ngaoundéré experiences hundreds of footsteps most Saturdays as eager visitors and sports lovers crave to satisfy their curiosity by ascending and descending the gigantic mountain located at the heart of the town of Ngaoundéré.
Ngao qui veut dire mont.
The town of Ngaoundéré got its name from this mountain, literally a mountain with a navel. It dates back in 1830.
Today, Mount Ngaoundéré has become a tourist destination for a majority of persons visiting Ngaoundéré. In their numbers, they climb to admire the beautiful stones carefully knit together, the landscape as well as a broader view of the town of Ngaoundéré.
I have been hearing about this mountain. I came to discover it for myself.
I'm a student at the University of Ngaoundéré. I like coming over here for sports. I come here every Saturday to keep fit.
Though Mount Ngaoundéré serves as a tourist destination, a unifier of people from different political leanings, religion as well as ancestral lineage, the population requests the powers that be to invest in this world-located tourist destination so as to add to the beauty and grandeur of Mount Ngaoundéré.
The book, Communal Liberalism, written by President Paul Biya, could be described as a compilation of the author's vision for Cameroon. In the following report, Luma Slim Davis, with the aid of the writer Jean-Paul Robertson, examines the mechanism proposed in the book in comparison to Cameroon's present economic and development challenges. Luma?
President Paul Biya, in his book, Communal Liberalism, outlined his vision for Cameroon's development with focus on various sectors of the economy.
The main mechanism you have to put in place what the president think about development to effective development process.
Published several years ago, Communal Liberalism still holds good in today's context.
We have 80% of our population which are in rural sector. So we have to valorize their works by taking their production, sell it, exportation for the industries, for home consumption. They are trying to reduce the gap of lack of energy. We cannot be industrialized without energy. Agriculture is the base of all industrialization. We cannot be developed, we cannot be really developed without a solid agriculture. How to develop these young industries?
The development model suggested in the book certainly opens the way for a wide segment development that takes into consideration grassroots development, but with a nationwide sprint.
And in sports, we begin our countdown tonight to draws of the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations to take place on August 17 at the Yaoundé Conference Center. Baldwin Sama in the following report presents what CRTV viewers will be watching throughout the 16 days countdown in this edition.
It would be an opportunity to showcase the country's readiness ahead of the draw ceremony, 16 days during which the Yaoundé Conference Center to host the ceremony will be presented in all its facets with measures put in place to make the draw ceremony unique. The 24 teams to take part in the competition come January 2022, their strengths and weaknesses will equally be presented.
What a great chance, and it's in! What a goal from Vincent Abubakar! His first goal in open play!
And what about great African footballers expected to spice the competition? They will be highlighted with emphasis laid on what will be their outputs. Cameroon's readiness in terms of infrastructure with the different available stadia that meet international standards will be presented alongside CRTV's readiness to produce the international signal of this competition while getting the pulse of the different regions ready to showcase the country's legendary hospitality.
And it is with this sports report that we draw the curtains on this edition of the 7:30 News. Thanks for watching. You'll be in the company of Romeo Trisengok at 8:30 for Louvain-Bertrand. I'll be here same time tomorrow, God willing. Until then, it's bye from all of us on the 7:30 crew. Good night.
I urge you once again to put on your face masks, to wash your hands regularly, and to consult a physician or any other health personnel if you notice any symptoms. This is the only way to save lives and to curb the spread of the virus.